Hakadosh Boker Or. I wanted to share with you a beautiful idea on this week's parasha. When we speak about Moshe Rabbeinu, we know that Moshe Rabbeinu was the most humblest person in the world. Vaish Moshe anav me'od mikol ha'adam. And even after writing it, he was still an anav. Right? Meaning, even after writing it, he's still humble. Right? But he was never jealous. We know very, very easily that when Aaron HaKohen, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu came and he told him, right, I want to send you to save the Am Yisrael, he went and he said, send Aaron HaKohen. And then he said, no, he's very, very happy. Don't worry about it. But very interesting. It says in this week's Parashat Tetzave, remember, this parasha is the only parasha in the Torah from the time that he's born until the end of the Torah that he's not mentioned once in the entire parasha. But he's hinted all over. And many people speak about it, Tetzave, that it's going to be that Mechenina from the 51st Sefer. So that comes out Parashat Tetzave, that is 51st Sefer. The Gaon Mivilna comes and he says also that it's even more than that. He says that usually Tetzave is always going to come out with the Yortzeit Askara of Moshe Rabbeinu, right? Just like it's today is Askara of Moshe Rabbeinu and it's tomorrow the Parasha. So because of that, that's why it wasn't going to be carried out. Other people said that it all depends when he started. He started writing the Torah and then he went backwards. So it had the last Parasha then that he wrote was going to be Parashat Tetzave. So he started from right after, as if to say that he started writing, and the last one, because Kitisa was the Maaseh Egel, and Kitisa was when he said, erase me from the Torah. So erase me from the entire Torah. So he started writing from Kitisa until the end of the Sefer. And then he started writing Bereshit, Noach, until he got to Tetzave. Tetzave is the last Parasha in the Torah. So you needed one that did not have his name. So Tetzave was the one that did not have his name. There's many different concepts why exactly his name was not mentioned in this week's Parasha. But fine. In the parasha, though, it says, you have to dress them up with the clothing of the Kohen Gadol. Chazal come and they say, when Moshe Rabbeinu was commanded to put on Aaron and Banav Bigdei Kehuna, he says, he started getting jealous. Says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you were zochet to Torah. Why are you jealous? Right? Now, we ask ourselves, 1 second. Now he's getting jealous? Moshe Rabbeinu already accepted it from HaKadosh Baruch Hu and he wasn't jealous. He thought that Aaron would be jealous. Until he went, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells him, no, he's happy for you. And he's not jealous. So now all of a sudden, now why is he going to be jealous of Aaron? So how does that work? And then Hashem answers, don't worry, you have Torah. What's going on? Rav Yerechmiel Krem, he comes and he says an incredible chidush. Listen to this. We read in the Haggadah Shel Pesach, Vet Amalenu. Amalenu ze abanim, elu abanim. What does that mean, Amalenu is the banim? He says, the yikar of what we work upon in this world is our children. What do we focus on? We come and we invest. Like what you said, you give more money in tuition than even your own house, your mortgage. Why? Because at the end of the day, right, the Amalenu, what are you amal? What are you working on? You're working on your work. Everything is going to be for the children. So he says that's your continuation. Just like you have, for example, a chulya, which is like a string going down, and you have the shalshelet, you have the rings going down. The Gemara says in Masechet Baba Kama Kuf Tet Zayin, it says, Kol she'eno miniach bel yorsho, HaKadosh Baruch Hu maleh alav evra. If you don't leave a son to inherit you, Hashem is angry. Now the question is, bel yorsho, what does that mean? Why didn't you say it if you didn't leave a son? What does it mean, a son to inherit you? What is it? Ben leorisho. What does that mean? So he says like this, usually, a father leaves over inheritances to the children. But there does exist the opposite inheritance. And listen to this, right? He says, when the person that's dead, he's inheriting that's the person that's alive. How? The father is inheriting the children. Why? A person comes and he finishes this world. He goes up to Kisei HaKavod and he sees the malachim and he sees everything and he thinks, Chaval, I didn't use this world properly. I want to come back down. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I'm sorry, it's already too late. Whatever you did, you did. Right? Whatever was done, you can't retract. And now he's all upset. But then they come and they tell him, don't worry about it. There's one way that you could still be fixed. You know how? Your children. He says, if you left children in this world, even after the person passed away, you could still continue growing. So he says, after the person goes, it depends what type of children he's going to have. If he left children with Torah mitzvot, so then it's going to be beautiful. But if Chas Shalom, he left it, so then they're going to give him the wrong baggage. Instead of bringing him up, they're going to bring him down. So therefore, he comes and he says, now we understand the Midrash. Moshe Rabbeinu, he comes and he sees the children of Aaron HaKohen, that they're following his footsteps. So, and he looks at his children, that they were off the derech. They weren't on following his footsteps. So he was chalshadato. He became all weak because he comes and he thinks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, look, he has nothing what to continue in life afterwards. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and he tells him, why are you so upset? You have the Torah. What is the kavanah? You have the Torah. The Gemara Masechet Sanhedrin Daf Yutet says, if you teach your friend, your friend Torah, ben chavero Torah, it's kilu that you gave birth to him. So therefore it comes that means even if a person didn't have his own children, but he comes and he has children that he taught, that are his talmidim, his talmidim are the ones that are going to help him after he passes away, because they're like his children. So therefore, that's why he comes and he says, don't worry about it. You have Torah. You don't have to be jealous of Aaron Cohen. All these people, they're all your students. And if they're all your students, and even the children of Aaron were his students. So therefore, what's going to happen? You don't have to worry about it. That's going to happen. Right? It's going to help you. So therefore, according to this, now we understand exactly what's going on. He comes and he says, in this world, Yosef comes and he says something beautiful. When it says, La'alot ner tamid, we have to have a ner tamid. You know what a ner tamid is? When you go into the synagogue, always look on top. You're always going to find a ner tamid. You're always going to find a candle which stays on 24/7. So he says, sometimes a person comes and he doesn't want to teach he doesn't want to learn with the small children. He says, what? If I'm going to learn with them, chaval. But 1 second, Talmiday yutum kulam, you learn more from them than anybody else. So it says, Tesave ben Israel tzavta. Tzavta means you have to do it with the public. You have to do it together, right? Ensemble, you have to do it together with La'alot ner tamid, to continue going and to bring up the ner tamid. What is ner tamid? Every neshama is a ner tamid. When a person passes away, they light a candle, a yortzeit candle, with 7 days. But ner tamid is a ner, is always going to happen. It's always going to light. So that's why it has to be shemen zayit zach, pure olive oil. Because pure olive oil is a hint to the children that they have a pure neshama, right? That it says, right, Yeladenu v'talmidenu is neshamot, right? That they were actually given to us. We have to come and take this pure olive oil, and we have to make sure that they're always going to light a constant candle for us. What is that constant candle for us? That even after 120, when a person is already going to pass away, they're going to continue giving us that light in order to continue growing, Bezrat Hashem, in Gan Eden. Amen.